I want to share, I need to share, doesn't matter, about some observations or an observation I have on my emotional wave, on the experience I have with it. I'm defined through the 35-36 solar plexus to throat. Okay, so if I take the sentence from hope to pain and back again, in the pain area I need some more description for myself. It is not enough for me just to say it's pain. For me it is more like hope or this childish like happiness, and a melancholic side which is more adult maybe. And it is beautiful to be in that place, and many times I was in a melancholic place where it was just beautiful. But many times also I was in this melancholic place, the pain place of the wave, and I felt so toxic, so like a volcano that erupts. You cannot stop it. A lot of rage, and it comes out, and the man, the woman that stands in front of me, I'm sorry, but it came out. And no one wants to stand in that situation. Jesus Christ. Okay, I just remember in the past it went out, and it went out strong, and the other person, the animal, especially when they are not defined emotionally, it's really not easy. It's really not easy. Like, it's a lightning striking, then boom, and again and again and again, and then they don't know what that is not correct for them, and they are standing there just hoping it will all vanish. But every little movement they do, you know, there was one thing that triggered it, one thing they said or did that triggered it, one thing. But every little movement they do to try and manipulate this thing that is happening so they will not need to feel my rage, it just enhanced it in me. Jesus. Yes, and the aftermath is not nice. It backfired on me. It backfires. Yes, this also, I live this rage in me, yeah? It needed to come out in that moment. I couldn't resist it. But this is not it can be different, and I experienced it differently. And it doesn't need to go like that I just erupt on another person, especially when they are not, you know, no, it's not accurate what I wanted to say. If a person comes to me and pushes into my boundaries, I need to stop him. But this emotional wave that triggers on another person is not about boundaries. It's the emotional wave that wakens up. And how I see it, that this melancholic state is when I'm in my peace state, the peace state of the manifestor. But the anger, the rage, is me meeting a not self, my not self, or the not self of another person. And when I'm in the down of my wave and I'm in my not self, it's like a not self center. We all have an open sacral center. So I enhance it. When I identify with a sacral or with anything that influences me, my aura, my map, doesn't matter, I enhance it, I make it bigger. And also this rage, this volcano, this whatever fire, I just burn it all. I identify myself with it, I'm this, and I explode. So yeah, Mamma Mia, I just recapture it or think about it, and I'm again lit up with this thing, with the feeling of it. But what I wanted to say, to share, and this is the learning process I do, is even on simple things, I see that I learn how to deal with it, how to observe with it, and I really must give myself a thumbs up because I did what I needed to do for myself. I went from the situation I chose to be because it was the correct decision, but it was hard for me. And now I don't need to be there, and I went. I went to my journey. I have now my place, my apartment, my house, everything, my privacy, this perfect situation to find my peace. And yes, I don't deal much with not self of other people's, I do deal with my own, but it's way easier, way less conflict to find peace, to redefine my boundaries and be able to work on things, not be so saturated heavily in all this other people energy, to discern what is me, what is not. And it really helped me to be a friend with my emotional wave. By the way, it's defined in the black, in my personality, so it's conscious. Yeah, it's the passenger that can go crazy, and I really pay attention to it. There are two small stories I want to share about dealing with it differently. One is I received a message on Facebook, and the immediate response in my body was a trigger. I want to say like that, but this was again a not self thing. And I don't remember now where I was in my emotional wave, it was some days ago. But this trigger is a not self trigger, and the emotional being needs to come to clarity. And I think also if I don't have an ego, I have a spleen defined, strongly defined, with the 57 connected to the throat, connected to the G. This is my chart, 3-5 profile. So back to my point. I was triggered, and even a spleen center, he is there for my survival. People are acting in the moment, but I feel many times people act out of their not self, not out of their authority. And the same with emotional beings that need to wait for clarity. They're acting boom immediately. I'm acting boom immediately. That's like responding immediately, but the authority can be to observe. I observed this message I got, and then I got it on WhatsApp, and then I got a question mark, but I just observed my process, and I had different incarnations in it. One time I was feeling like that, one time forgetful, one time I want to draw my sword. In the end, I had clarity. It just came. I was on point. I was there to give what I have to give to this message, and I wrote it, and I was so satisfied about it. Or better say, I felt I'm victorious because this was so accurate, and it came out correct. It came out with no way to argue around it. It came out respectful, loving, even if you want to say, and that's it. End of the note, end of discussion. And I see also my sister, I love her very much, and we are very similar in some certain ways. We are both really weirdos in this world, but with her I have a big issue of accepting who she is, like judgment. And everything she does, it triggers me to say something out of my not self. And I see now, with what I said, the conditions I have now, that I find much more peace. I have much more space, much more conditions to be in peace. And I see things that triggered me and I was responding immediately, they will continue to trigger me. They will continue to stab me in my not self. And my ajna will want to pull it to action. I don't know. But I observe. And most things, not just the example of my sister, but most things I observe, they go through some cycle, some observation, some incarnation, I don't know, you say how you want, and then they disappear. It is so not important to invest my energy in this. So not important. And I feel this not self theme is really like a manifestor that is all over the place, like a manifesting generator. Like responding to this, to this, to this, to this, to this. Wow, it's a burnout. It's really a burnout. Yo, yes. So I know I'm gonna deal with my emotional theme, entity, I don't know, demon, as you want to say it. This hope, this pain, this melancholy, the melancholic feeling. Yes, and I'm learning. I can observe. I'm observing. And I get stronger in a center point, I feel. In a place that is more with peace, rather than jumping on every little thing that irritates my not self, and my not self wants to tangle with it. So, yeah, that's cool. And that's it for now.